Dang. That boy Eddie Hearn is a savage. Eddie Hearn reiterates why he did not bid on Devin Haney's fight. And let's just say Mr. Hearn caught a body. Let's go. Eddie Hearn has done some recent interviews, and he's explained from his side that the reason he didn't bid on Devin Haney versus Sandor Martin is because the fight doesn't mean anything to their company. He goes on to say that DAZN wasn't really interested in the fight either because that particular fight has very little commercial appeal, and they weren't interested in the fight, which I've already made videos about. Another thing, he stated that why should DAZN or Rematch Room, his company, show pure loyalty to Devin Haney when Bill Haney is negotiating and talking to other promoters and is a free agent, which is exactly what I said. Ego Stradamus strikes again. Damn, I'm good. That's a great question. Why would Eddie Hearn and his company in DAZN show pure loyalty, blind loyalty to the point of losing money from a business perspective, and you're not even tethered to their company like formally? You're a free agent. You're doing one-off fights, and then you can do whatever you want after that, and you want to bounce around, you move to top rank, you are bragging in the public like we're our own bosses, we could do what we want, and Devin likes to move independently. Bill Haney has said stuff like this. So this is what comes with the territory.
Sweet, really. I mean, we have absolutely no obligation to bid. He's a free agent. You know, a lot of these fighters like to champion the fact that they're free agents, and they all have their own promotional company. DHP didn't bid. They didn't bid because they didn't want to take a financial risk on the fight. What, so you won't, but yet I have to, even when you're not under contract to me, or I'm not obliged to. It doesn't really work like that. Was I going to bid for it? Maybe, yeah. But then when I spoke to DAZN, I said, guys, this is the schedule, the plan we have for the year. Do you want to stick money in to do Devin Haney against Sandor Martin? In all honesty, the answer was not really, no. And so, you know, I still think it's a fight that he should think about taking. But let's be honest, it ain't going to be the greatest fight in the world to watch. And unfortunately, we have to run a business here. And I'm not interested in losing a load of money to a fighter that I don't have a contractual obligation to, who also has his own promotional company, where his dad is out talking to all the other promotional companies about who will give him the best deal here, there, and everywhere. Not for me, mate.
Wow. So frequent collaborator, somebody who's promoted Devin Haney multiple times, Eddie Hearn is providing the Haneys with a masterclass in the business of boxing. Much of what I said on my channel, I got to be the greatest, right? He's saying, first of all, the fight is not really appealing in terms of the matchup. Eddie Hearn, fair play, he does say that he doesn't think that Devin Haney should not take the fight. He says it's actually a cool fight for Devin Haney to take where he's at in his career. It's just not something that him and his company and his partners with DAZN wanted. He said, I asked and brought this to DAZN and said, is this something you want to inject money into? And he said, to be honest, the answer was no. So many things are being shattered from this Ryan Garcia fight with Devin Haney. Devin Haney's team have led you to believe that they're independent bosses and they move freely and wompty. Now, that might be fine and dandy when you're winning, but after a disastrous night versus Ryan Garcia, you can bring up Osterine and the positive test or whatnot. It doesn't change what people saw. It doesn't change what you seen that night. It doesn't change the fact that Devin Haney's stock took a hit that given night. You said Ryan was a C+ fighter, and on the night, people seen what they seen, right? And undoubtedly, it has caused Devin Haney some tragedy in his career, right? Which is what I've said from the beginning. And again, you can get away with certain things when you're winning, but when you're losing, it becomes a different thing. The first time of Devin Haney's reached adversity in his career, and now Top Rank is the only bidder on his purse bid. And they did that because they have an obligation to Sandor Martin. So they're trying to get a belt for their fighters. Sandor Martin signed with Top Rank. So that makes all the sense in the world for Top Rank to bid on the fight. Even though Devin's a free agent promotionally, Sandor Martin isn't. So they're bidding to try to secure their fighter a opportunity, which makes sense. Eddie Hearn also discussed Devin Haney promotions. He's basically saying, how come if you're a promotional outfit, you didn't bid on the fight, but you're mad at us and we're expected to, which is exactly what I said on social media, in my videos. This is a business. How can you expect people to do something that you're not willing to do? Devin Haney and Bill Haney, they have went around saying they're independent operators, independent bosses, but then they're expecting DAZN and Rematch Room with no commitment to them, like no actual on paper, we have you as an exclusive fighter. You're expecting them to bid on your fights and get mad when they don't. It doesn't work like that. Devin Haney even tweeted, I should have bid myself. Well, then you should have. Why are you not bidding on the purse bid only to go to Twitter and complain about it? This is so unserious. This is unserious behavior. A person who knows his purse bid was coming up. I made several posts notifying the public that the purse bid was coming up. So the scheduled purse bid date was known about. I posted about it. Other boxing reporters knew about it. So that means Devin Haney, since it's his career, had to know about it. And he's not going to bid on the fight. Devin Haney Promotions ain't going to bid on the fight, only to pander to social media after the fact and say, man, I should have bid on my fight. Then why didn't you organize that? You knew the purse bid was coming and you did nothing about it. And then you're mad that Top Rank was the only bidder and you're talking about Matchroom, nasty work. It's not nasty work, it's a business. Your star power is not as stated. There's much more. I got so many videos to drop because Eddie Hearn was dropping a lot of science in terms of the business of boxing. He was also talking about Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Their projections for the fight were probably diluted and delusional and not realistic. So they think that Golden Boy owes them all this money, but the fight didn't generate all this money. Wow. So little by little, the windshield is shattering for Team Haney. All the stuff from Devin Haney content creators, the Haney-act content creators, Bill Haney, everybody, this big echo chamber that we've recently experienced, this echo chamber of content creation that suggested that Gervonta Davis is a thing of the past and the Mayweather era is over and it's Devin Haney's era. Listen, he beat Regis Prograis, good performance. He had a good live gate in San Francisco, 1.7 million, I believe it was. And within 6 months, look at where he's at right now. That's why you don't want to get in this sport. You don't want to get too big for your britches. And that's exactly what the Haneys did, in my opinion. Became too arrogant, underestimated Ryan Garcia, and started clout chasing Tank, trying to outdo Tank and show that they were pay-per-view stars. And just like the story of Icarus, they flew too close to the sun. Now they have a frequent collaborator in Eddie Hearn who is dishing out and dunking on them. And you can't even fault him. It's not like he's outright dissing him, but he's telling them and schooling them on the business of boxing, which all happens to be true. And it's just probably something the Haneyacks don't want to hear. Devin Haney is not the star that he's been depicted to be. And this is apparent. Do you honestly, let me ask you this question. Do you honestly believe that if DAZN had an opportunity to bid on Canelo's fight, who's also a free agent, right, that they wouldn't bid on the fight and they would just easily let it go to Top Rank as the lone bidder? Absolutely not. I think DAZN, knowing Canelo's pool and his numbers, and he probably does some of the best numbers on their platform that they are capable of getting, they would love to work with Canelo. So in that sense, when you're a Canelo level star, Gervonta Davis level star, Floyd Mayweather, when you're that level of a star, you can operate as a free agent and not, bog yourself down to one promotional agent or entity. But if you're a Devin Haney, it doesn't quite work like that. And even if it does appear to work like that, it works like that only if you're winning. And when you take a disastrous loss, all bets are off. And you're seeing that now. DAZN is rejecting even working with Devin Haney, not totally, because Eddie Hearn did say we want to make the Liam Paro fight, but he's also saying we want to make Liam Paro versus Devin Haney in Australia. So Liam Paro is a new champion. Devin Haney is a champion still, and Liam Paro gets hometown advantage. So the fact that they would want Devin Haney to go to Australia again to fight a champion and give Liam Paro home court advantage shows me where Devin Haney's value is with DAZN. How come they didn't say, oh, let's make Devin Haney in San Francisco? The Haneyacks said the fight was such a financial success and sold all these pay-per-views and stuff. Then why would they want to schedule? Eddie Hearn said he called and reached out to make a fight with Liam Paro for Devin Haney, and he never heard back from them. So again, my question to you is, why wouldn't they give Devin Haney the home court advantage? Why are they saying we want to make Liam Paro versus Devin is in Brisbane? Sounds to me like they're looking at the Liam Paro as he has the ability to generate the money where he's from rather than Devin Haney. In addition, he also has an added perk because he's actually signed to Matchroom. So they're going to go all out for their fighter. And to be honest, they're going to give him those A-side luxuries because he's actually tethered to the company. He's not like Devin Haney, who's a free agent and he could just bounce around and go work with Bob Arum when he wants and stuff like that. And that is the business of boxing. Why would a promotional company not care about the fighters that they actually have on their own roster to show blind loyalty to someone who's going to lose them money and or is not committed to them? It just doesn't make sense. You can't go into a Lowe's and expect them to care about Home Depot employees and their HR problems at Home Depot. That is not their company. That is not their bother. They're not worried about, oh, Home Depot, the morale is low at Home Depot. This is Lowe's. We don't care about the morale at Home Depot. We're glad that the morale is low as Home Depot because we're competitors. And in business, that's how it goes. So Eddie Hearn didn't say anything wrong. Notice all the Haneyacks channels, all of a sudden, Eddie Hearn's dropping these heat rock. They're not talking about it. They're not making any posts. They're not making any TikToks. They're not making any Snapchats. They're not making any YouTube videos regarding this. And this is important news. It just came out today. But let it be Gervonta Davis, has a run-in with the law. The Haneyacks, who also hate on Gervonta Davis, they would be quick to report stuff like that and talk about stuff like that. But they're not talking about somebody who's actually worked with Devin Haney, who's basically telling you that Devin Haney's brand and star power is not that budding. It's not what you think. And we're not in the business of wasting money on him anymore, right? It got to be the right opportunity. Just like you're trying to find the right opportunities for yourself in your career, we're doing the same. And the Sandor Martin fight is a boring fight. It's no interest. It's of no interest to us because we'll certainly lose money.